Like, it is a basketball play, and an Angel goes flying. Angel gets hit, in fairness, and she just flies. And then jumps up and tries to go at her. She tries to charge her down while Caitlyn walks away. Like, it's nothing. It's absolutely...
Angel, can you take us through the flagrant foul from your perspective? Just what you saw in that play, how you interpreted what happened.
Basketball play, refs got it right. Move on.
The heavily hyped Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky matchup didn't just add another chapter to the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese rivalry, it practically wrote a whole new book. And trust me, it delivered. What we saw wasn't simply a basketball game, it was a crash course in how to stir up drama when the scoreboard isn't in your favor. On one side, Caitlin Clark put on a clinic, dropping a triple-double that had the Fever cruising. On the other, Angel Reese served up her signature move, the full-blown tantrum special, piping hot, garnished with a desperate "please pay attention to me, not the score." The final stat line? Clark walked away with the numbers, while Reese walked away with the headlines, for all the wrong reasons.
Here it is right here. She comes in, just a little grab around her, trying to kind of hold her, really.
Afterwards, as
and Angel Reese loses her mind. I mean, if you can't tell me there is not true animosity, jealousy, and agenda ate up right there with that player, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that was a big nothing. Wow.
The Indiana Fever didn't just beat the Chicago Sky, they dismantled them. Final score, 93-58. That's not a loss, that's a hardwood demolition derby. The type of beatdown where you double-check the scoreboard just to make sure the operator isn't trolling. And in the middle of this massacre, with a little over 4 minutes left in the third, Angel Reese finally found her moment. She snagged an offensive rebound, desperate for some spotlight. Caitlin Clark, doing exactly what any defender would in that situation, committed a routine take foul. Nothing special, unless you're Angel Reese, who managed to turn a basic basketball play into her own personal drama reel.
Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, and it's so obvious. You don't give this type of reaction for a common foul. That is a regular basketball foul. Caitlin Clark hit ball, but Angel Reese decided to flop like she's Draymond Green and act like she got shot in the streets and hood of Chicago. But then when you ask a question after the game in the press conference, you say basketball play, refs got it right, move on. But you clearly had a hard time moving on after that foul. And Caitlin Clark threw some shade at Angel Reese, rightfully so. That's just a good take foul. Either you let Angel get a wide open two-pointer, which I don't think she was going to make. Have you seen her lay a package? Or you send her to the free throw line and make her earn those points. Anybody who played any type of ounce of competitive...
Angel Reese was not about to let that routine foul slide. The moment Clark wrapped her up, Reese detonated, arms flailing, face twisted in pure outrage, yelling at refs, teammates, fans, probably even the Gatorade cooler. You'd think Caitlin had just punted her childhood pet the way she carried on. She stomped around the court, finger pointing like she was leading a protest march, and then unleashed the death glare, locked directly on Clark. And the refs? Instead of shrugging off the theatrics, they folded. Intimidated by the decibel level of Reese's meltdown, they actually upgraded it to a flagrant one. A flagrant one, for what every coach teaches their players, for what happens every night in gyms across America, for what basketball players casually call Tuesday.
Basketball play, refs got it right. Move on.
She just said basketball play, refs got it right. She could have, like, it could have been worded worse. It could have been worded worse. And it was the same thing as she said, basketball play, when she clocked Caitlin Clark in the head. And again, I stand by this. I don't think Angel Reese last year intentionally smacked Caitlin Clark in the head, because at that stage in the year, Angel Reese had gone like 15 games without getting a single block. If Angel Reese tried to hit Caitlin Clark in the head, she would have...
Picture this, Caitlin Clark, the player single-handedly dragging women's basketball into the spotlight, selling out arenas, making the WNBA matter to people who didn't even know the league had 12 teams, commits a standard, routine foul. Nothing dirty, nothing wild. Enter Angel Reese, who decides this is her Emmy moment. Instead of taking the foul and moving on, she goes full telenovela. Arms flailing, face twisted, launching herself toward Clark like she's been fired out of a cannon. She's got the kind of energy and determination she should have been using to, I don't know, keep her team from getting blown out by 30 plus. It's less basketball, more soap opera, and the sad part? Everyone saw it coming.
Because of me too. I want y'all to realize that. Now, I heard a lot of people say that I or others have made Angel Reese the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad guy? She called herself the villain. I'm not making her the villain. She's making herself the villain. And guess who her eyes are on at all times? Caitlin Clark. There's an image from this opening game when Caitlin Clark hits a beautiful fadeaway three-pointer, and the camera pans to Angel Reese, and you would have thought she saw the devil.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe, because it only gets better. And what does Caitlin Clark do in the face of all this chaos? The same thing she did back when LSU beat Iowa in the NCAA championship and Angel Reese hit her with the John Cena, "You can't see me" taunt. She walks away. No theatrics. No reaction. No wasted energy. Just pure composure, like quietly leaving a 1-star Yelp review after a bad meal. Dignified. Unbothered. Focused. While Reese was busy rehearsing her Oscar reel for most dramatic overreaction to a routine basketball play, Clark casually dropped a triple-double in her first ever regular season WNBA game. 20 points, 10 boards, 10 assists. That's not just showing up, it's pulling up to a water balloon fight with a tactical nuke. Meanwhile, Angel Reese? A stat line of 12 points on 5 of 14 shooting, an ice-cold 35% from the field. Painful. Yes, she grabbed 17 rebounds, and that sounds impressive until you remember rebounds pile up when you're in a game full of bricks, many of them while you're on the floor. That's like bragging about bringing an umbrella to a hurricane. Sure, it technically helps, but it doesn't change the fact that you're still getting blown out.
Folks, this was crazy. Caitlin Clark recorded the first triple-double in a season opener in WNBA history, but are you surprised? Because I'm not. I have to say, there was a couple days when I was thinking, you know what, this guy might be a little difficult with like how scrappy they could be, but then I woke up today and for some reason I had like zero hesitation and full confidence in the Indiana Fever. Venom and I went live. We were talking about it before the game, and I was just like, nope, not worried.
But here's where it gets really fascinating. Post-game. Cameras rolling. Mic's hot. Angel Reese, fresh off her mid-game meltdown, is asked about the foul. And what does she say? Let's not make it something that it's not. Basketball play. Refs got it right. Excuse me? The same Angel Reese who turned a routine take foul into the basketball equivalent of the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones is now zen, calm, and claiming it was all no big deal? The same player who needed teammates to hold her back like she was storming the octagon suddenly found inner peace the moment the press conference lights came on. Allow me to translate for those who don't speak fluent basketball drama. I realized I overreacted on national TV while getting blown out by 30, so now I need to pretend I was rational the whole time. And that, right there, is the fundamental difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. One changes the game. The other changes her story, depending entirely on which way the camera is pointing.